Hi, I'm Mark Turner, President of the Gilroy Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to welcome you to our 2021 State of the City Address with our Mayor, Marie Blankley. Before we get started, I'd like to thank several of our sponsors who helped make this happen. Thank you to Bracco's Towing, to Pinnacle Bank, and also Heritage Bank for being our sponsors. And not only our sponsors of this event, but also supporters of the Chamber and supporters of our community at large. As you'll notice here tonight, it's a little bit different than we've seen in years past. Last year we were able to gather at a local restaurant and have a number of people participate in the event, but this year it's different. And we know that as we start to move forward into further into the year, we have signs of hope and opportunity and optimism as we go forward. I hope you'll stay with me after the mayor's speech. I've got some comments that I would like to make when she's finished, and have an opportunity with you before we close out. So, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the Mayor of Gilroy, Marie Blankley.
Thank you for joining me for the 2021 Gilroy State of the City, and as we celebrate our 150th anniversary year. Thank you to the Gilroy Chamber of Commerce for hosting this virtual event. I'm Mayor Marie Blankley, and I'm honored to be giving my first State of the City, albeit during an historic pandemic. Vaccinations are in progress and underway. Our mass vaccination site in Gilroy is open, as well as other vaccination sites that will remain open. Our firefighter paramedics stand ready to go mobile, in some cases already have, to vaccinate homebound residents and those otherwise without access. Mobile vaccination teams are already out vaccinating our farm workers. It is strictly the limitation on the supply of the vaccine that keeps us from progressing even faster. Please help me, help each other, help all of us understand that the unfortunate truth is that far more people have very valid reasons for wanting the vaccination yesterday than vaccines are available thus far. So as soon as that supply increases, we will all be able, those who want to be vaccinated will be vaccinated. In the meantime, please wear your masks and stay appropriately distanced from each other when outside of your homes. Our Gilroy community has suffered two extraordinary and devastating events back to back: this pandemic and the Garlic Festival shooting. We stand together, Gilroy strong, as the damage from both of those events continues like a burning fire that we've yet to contain. From the ashes, we will rebuild. And I'm going to go through some points as to where we are specifically today and how we're rebuilding. Our timely action last June to reduce our workforce, together with our economic emergency reserves, has kept us going without further reductions. The city is its services, and our workforce defines our success. Our budget shortfall, after spending the $5 million economic uncertainty reserve, is expected to be $3 million. Barring further sales tax reductions, we expect to hold into the next fiscal year without having to address any more reductions to our workforce. It should be noted, however, that our debt to CalPERS, our employee retirement system, has increased by $10.3 million, the result of underperforming investments in CalPERS. On a brighter note, we've been able to help our hardest hit residents and small businesses with aid directly from our general fund and from government assistance programs. With the help of so many wonderful partnerships, community partnerships right here in Gilroy, we've been able to distribute that help to hundreds of Gilroy families with rent and utility assistance, landlord-tenant disputes, those with food insecurities, and those in need of shelter to isolate. We seek opportunities to add recreation adventure through better use of our city-owned property surrounding Gilroy Gardens. We have two very viable and reputable proposals from viable and reputable companies. that we are considering right now. And if the city council decides to go with one of them, then all of us together will look at the possibilities as to what we might be able to do with that land that would bring recreation adventure to Gilroy. The San Jose Sharks would like to bring Sharks Ice to our sports park. The development of our sports park is very exciting. And as we negotiate with the Sharks to anchor them as a tenant, we can consider or contemplate the possibilities for other uses of that space, including a badly needed community center for Gilroy. The Gilroy Downtown Business Association has presented plans for improving Gourmet Alley between 4th and 7th Streets. With the cooperation of those building owners, the city of Gilroy doesn't own the buildings, they are owned by private parties, and with their cooperation, Gilroy can expect to see some real progress towards a thriving downtown. The school district has nearly completed their renovations at Brownell Middle School, and they look great. If you haven't seen them, please drive by. Up next, South Valley Middle School. Those of us who've been in Gilroy a long time and maybe even attended Gilroy High School there can appreciate what a change that will bring. Very much looking forward to that. The city is addressing our very real housing shortage by being proactive to bring housing to Gilroy that helps us meet our regional allocation assessments and alleviate housing insecurity felt by so many. These are just some of the things in the works, but this is how we rebuild. We strengthen our people, we strengthen each other, we seek opportunities. Let's all be receptive to change, open-minded to the possibilities, and accepting of each other's perspective. What happened at our nation's capital on January 6th was a new low, and unfortunately indicative of the unrest among us, the growing unrest among us, and the pain that divisiveness brings. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask us all to please consider our words, the ones we speak out loud and the ones we type from our electronic devices, and ask ourselves, are we helping to heal our hearts as we heal from this pandemic by the words we use, or are we contributing to the problem and making the divisiveness grow? It's something for all of us to think about, because we all are very passionate about what we believe, and those that are very involved and love Gilroy and are as bold as we are because we care need to also respect a differing point of view and offer the same acceptance and respect for someone else that we would like for ourselves. Let's remember that from our residents and small businesses to our city employees, to our city council members and school board members, we are all people. People trying to make ends meet. People doing our best with our own financial and emotional struggles. People trying to help each other, and people deserving of appreciation and respect no matter our diversity and no matter our differing opinions. Remember to be kind. We are all people, and we are our people. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Mayor. In these final moments that I have with you this evening, I just want to tell you why I believe we should remain hopeful and optimistic as a community. Now, as the mayor mentioned, we have indeed come through two very difficult tragedies in our community's history. One being the Garlic Festival, and the second being what we're currently dealing with, and that is the pandemic. But in both these situations, what we have seen from our residents, from Gilroyans all across our community, has been something that is inspirational, that drives the hope and optimism we can have as a community. Because neighbors have helped one another. They've supported our business community. Gilroyans have risen to the cause and supported those who have needed it the most. It speaks to the heart of who we are as a people. Now, just yesterday, the county allowed us to move into the red tier, and so we're starting to see more openings for our businesses. Indoor dining can occur at the 25% level. There's reason to be hopeful and optimistic as we move forward. Numbers in the county are beginning to improve, but with that being said, as the mayor mentioned, we still must apply the safety protocols so that we can continue to move forward as we need to and as we should. And for that reason, we can remain hopeful and optimistic. As the mayor mentioned, we're working on some things that will help us economically through our recovery and into the future that will help us to secure ourselves against any kind of future economic downturn. These are things that she mentioned with regards to the Sharks Ice. We have the opportunity of turning some of the land around the 536 acres near Gilroy Gardens into an outdoor recreational site. And then, of course, the work that is being done in the downtown and our Gourmet Alley area, which would be a great draw to our local residents and those outside our community as well. For those reasons, we can be hopeful and optimistic. Good things are starting to come together for us as a community, and it's because of people like you, because of Gilroyans who are willing to reach out and help one another. It's about our community's effort to do good things, not just for one another, but for those outside our community, and then also to develop an economic plan that allows us to remain in good stead as we go forward. For those reasons, let us all remain hopeful and optimistic. Well, that does it for us tonight. I'm Mark Turner, President of the Gilroy Chamber of Commerce.